Hello, and in today's video we are reacting to the Premier League fixtures for 2021 to 22. There are certainly some interesting games in there, and it could go either way. It could be a very interesting first day, a very boring first day, or, like it was last season, a very dramatic final day. But let's pick out the bones of the opening day fixtures, the Boxing Day fixtures, and of course the final day of the Premier League 2021 to 22 season. So it got released, of course, on the 16th of June. And these fixtures were interesting. We saw, obviously, Brentford coming in as new boys for the first time. Watford and Norwich coming back for the first time of asking after relegation. And also, you've got Leeds in there who, did well to have a really good season under Bielsa. And they have a tough test to start the season. And we also have a nice little London derby between the teams of Brentford and Arsenal. So we have got that game. We've also got Manchester United Leeds, Burnley Brighton, Chelsea Palace, Everton Southampton, Leicester City Wolves, which I'm pretty sure was an opening day game as well for the Foxes and the Wolves team back in the 18-19 season, I'm pretty sure. Or it might have been the season after that, 1920. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was, because I remember quite vividly the goal for Wolves being ruled out. I think it was Dendoncker, because of a handball from Willy Bolly. So that game gets repeated. Watford against Aston Villa, that's quite a nice one. Tasty rivalry there because of Villa going up and then getting, safety by a point. It was absolutely unbelievable. Norwich play Liverpool, so it's a repeat of, 1920s game. This time, though, it's at Carrow Road, and I'll always remember that classic 5-4 thriller at Carrow Road. So let's hope for some kind of level of that entertainment. Newcastle West Ham, they also played each other last day of the season last time, or the first day of the season, but this time the difference is at St James's Park, but that'll be a tightly contested game. And then we've got the big one, the game of the week, and it's Manchester United against Leeds, but also Spurs against Man City, the two teams fighting for top four glory. Man City, of course, fighting for the title, but off the back of a very poor season, Spurs will certainly be thrown straight into the thick of things there with that fixture. So yeah, really interesting start. I think that Brentford game is a tough one for Brentford, but it's a Friday night. It's going to kick off the season on the 13th of August. Sky Sports going to be a great one to watch. Can Ivan Toney do it in the Premier League? Well, that's a tough first game, but you certainly feel with the great season he had, it's possible. Manchester United Leeds is a goal fest usually, but it didn't happen in the reverse fixture. However, in the game at Old Trafford, it was 6-2. So, Leeds do concede, Man United do score. It could be really, really fun to watch that on BT Sport to start the season. And Norwich Liverpool, that's the 5:30 kickoff. I probably won't be able to watch that because I will hopefully be at the first day of the season at home to Villa. But if not, then obviously that's on Sky Sports. And then we have two games on Sky once again for Sunday. So Newcastle West Ham and Spurs Man City. So really nice first day of the season, to be fair. Moving into the week 2 fixtures, Liverpool play Burnley. So, Burnley have been, not a bad start, mixed stuff really. Liverpool have got nice fixtures to start the season. Aston Villa Newcastle, of course, that was the game, really the one at St James's Park that was postponed due to COVID last season. But this one is actually at Villa Park, and a pretty nice game for Villa once again. Palace Brentford, that's going to be a tight one, I think, because Palace were pretty leaky last season, and now without a manager, they're going to have to kind of click the reset button. And Brentford obviously will go for it in that first away game of the season. Leeds Everton, that was quite a tight game last season. Just the odd goal getting the win for Everton at Ellen Road, and it is there once again. We also had City against Norwich, and obviously with Man City, they are a team that can just destroy you, and I think it was the final day of the 1920 season that City did just that to the already relegated Norwich. So, yeah, Norwich are not going to be looking forward to that one. And then on the South Coast, Sky Sports game, we're going to have a little bit of Brighton against Watford, a game that brings back a lot of memories for Watford fans. Obviously, winning the game in the Championship to get promotion back to the Premier League in the 14-15 season. And hopefully we can start with an away win in that game. And then just to end the week, we've got Southampton Man United on Sky Sports. Those games are usually quite good. The Red Devils against the Saints. Southampton are quite leaky, but they could cause an upset. Wolves Spurs, those are two teams going for European football. Obviously, Wolves need to think about surviving first this season because they have to start from scratch with Bruno Lage as the new manager. Arsenal Chelsea, which is a really tasty one for the second match week of the season. Arsenal do usually have tough games to start the season, but once again they've got a top six clash, and it's Chelsea who they actually did play in their second game in the 17-18 season, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, that time it was away from home, but they're at home at the Emirates, and that'll be a really exciting London derby. But we end up week 2 with West Ham against Leicester, two teams that had a fantastic campaign last time, and it's an early Europa League clash perhaps if they can really sustain that kind of form they showed. So yeah, the first 2 weeks of the season, really interesting stuff. Now we turn our attention though to a little bit of the Boxing Day games, and I had a look at this and just thought, wow, these are some very juicy games, especially the ones in London. So with Villa against Chelsea, that was obviously the game that ended last season, and Villa can easily beat Chelsea there because they've had a great season. Brighton Brentford, that's going to be a fascinating watch because both those teams have been used to playing Championship football, and it's going to be a tight, narrow one. Burnley Everton, I'm pretty sure they played on Boxing Day before. Luca Digne with an unbelievable strike from a free kick or something like that. Liverpool Leeds, of course, that was the game that was the start of the season for Leeds last campaign, and that was a goal machine game, a goal fest at the Anfield Stadium. So let's see if it is that once again on Boxing Day. Man City versus Leicester, that is going to be a big game on Boxing Day. Both teams obviously pushing for top 4, and Leicester did cause a few upsets for Man City in the past, but also last season. That was the game they won 5-2. So yeah, really nice game to watch there between the Citizens and the Foxes. Newcastle versus Manchester United, that is a historic Premier League fixture, and a lot of goals usually go in the back of the net for that one. That will be at St James's Park, and quite a nice game to watch that one. Norwich Arsenal. Arsenal have been pretty dominant against Norwich in the past, but it's at Carrow Road. You never know what could happen. Spurs Palace, nice London derby once again. West Ham Southampton, which is fairly even, and then Wolves against Watford, a pretty favourable game to be honest for us. Wolves are a solid team and they're going to go for it, but they also are a team that can be beaten on their day. So yeah, the Boxing Day fixtures are pretty mixed, but certainly that Spurs game should be interesting, that Newcastle game, and of course that Manchester City clash at the Etihad. But to end the video, and before we do go on to look at how I got on with predicting these fixtures, we will just reveal the final match week of the season. How is these clubs going to end the season? And I'll be honest, when I looked at it, I just thought Watford have been absolutely dished up a bit of a nightmare here. So we face Chelsea on the final day at Stamford Bridge. That is just not good. We always lose at Stamford Bridge. Although to be fair, we did get a point against them in 15-16, but no, generally we do concede a lot of goals there. They're going to be pushing for Champions League. They're going to possibly be pushing for the title, the European champions. So that's really difficult. We need to get safety kind of locked in before then. But Arsenal play Everton on the final day once again. I think that was the 16-17 season they played Everton, and they were playing for a place in the Champions League, and they won that game, but they didn't have enough to get the Champions League because I think Liverpool beat Middlesbrough in that game. Brentford play Leeds, so that's really interesting. Obviously, Pontus Jansson against his former team, and Brentford have a home game to end the season against a team like Leeds, who really have been fantastic. Brighton West Ham, that game is always quite fun to watch. A few thrillers in the past, and certainly on the South Coast, West Ham will be fancying a win, but you never know. Burnley Newcastle. Now, I mentioned how Burnley faced Brighton on the opening day. That could be quite a tight one and quite a dull affair, but certainly Burnley Newcastle doesn't get me too excited. But you never know. Chelsea, obviously, I mentioned. Palace Man United. That game, obviously, has been a bit of a problem, to be fair, for Palace in the past. But last season, of course, we had that 3-1 Manchester United defeat, and Wilfried Zaha against his former team. So can Palace do something special at Selhurst on the final day? We will find out. Leicester Southampton. Obviously, that was the game that finished 9-0 all the way back in the 1920 season. So it's at the King Power this time. Can the Foxes still get the win. Liverpool play Wolves, and again, some common themes here because they faced Wolves, Liverpool in the final game of the 18-19 season when they ended up, losing the title and being pipped to the title by Man City by just 1 point. So, yeah, Liverpool will be hoping it's better fortunes in that. And then City end the season with the fixture they were supposed to start the season with. So obviously, as we know, Man City and Manchester United had that Europa League and Champions League involvement. So that meant they missed the start of last season, and then it got rearranged so that the Villa game was played later. So Man City had Wolves away the first game, and Manchester United they had Palace at home. But no, it was actually City v Villa that should have been. But instead, now City v Villa is the final game for the Manchester City team. So if Villa are going for it, and if they are in a relegation battle, then hopefully City can put a few past them. Finally, we've got Norwich against Tottenham, a game that will be very interesting to see. Once again, it's at Carrow Road. It seems like Norwich are home all the weeks. But no, Tottenham will go for this, and it should be a really exciting game once again to watch. So just to quickly summarise, how do we get on with our predicting of the fixtures? All in all, it was pretty awful. So we went and gone for it, and we went and just thought, why not? Let's see what we can do. But it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. We had Palace v Watford on the opening day. That was a bad prediction. To be fair, we had, a few games like Arsenal v Norwich. We had that in week 38. And Arsenal play Norwich in the Boxing Day game. And it's Spurs instead that play them on the final day. We also had Aston Villa v Chelsea on Boxing Day. Now, I might be wrong, but I think we might have got that right, to be fair. Let me just double check that for you people. We did get in. Love to see it. Oh, actually, no, we didn't. That's the result. Yeah, sorry. I've just written down what the actual reality of it was and not the actual prediction. Oh dear. So let's look back at then, shall we? We said for the week 1 of the season, Everton v Leeds. Nope, that didn't happen. And I had a lot more predictions in there, but the only one that I got right from week 1 was Brentford v Arsenal. So that's nice. That's a great prediction. Not a lot of people would have gone with that, but we went for that because we knew that Arsenal was the team that Brentford played in their final game in the top division in 1947. And look, destiny has done it again and tempted fate. So that was a pretty great prediction to get it bang on. Brentford at home against Arsenal. We're loving that. But the rest of week 1 was an absolute shambles. No correct predicted fixtures. But it is pretty impossible at this point. It's just, it is what it is at the end of the day. So with each correct fixture combo, and that's doesn't have to be a home or away, just the right two teams, you get 5 points. So that's 5 points for me from week 1. Week 2 was not good because we just went for it and none of the fixtures were right. We said, I don't know how we did this, but we said Newcastle v Everton and Manchester United v Brentford, and then Manchester United end up facing in week 2 their match up against who was it? Southampton. And then Brentford play Palace. So the teams that played each other match day 2 of last season actually are replacing the teams that I predicted. So yeah, not good at all. All in all, week 2 I got nothing right. And then week 3, oh dear, we got nothing right again. So in all of that predictions of 3 match days, 30 games predicted, we got one of them right. Not good at all. We were so close with week 38 prediction because we said Leicester v Watford for the final day, and actually we have Leicester in week 37, so it's unlucky there, to be fair. But all in all, not a good thing. So we might not do that again, to be fair. We said Brentford playing against we said Brentford playing against Brighton in week 38, I've just remembered, and I'm pretty sure Brentford play Brighton on, is that the final day? Maybe they do. Hang on. No, sorry, Brighton play against West Ham on the final day. So which week was it that Brentford played against Brighton? Because it might have been Boxing Day, to be fair. Yeah, I think it was. It was. Okay, well, that's fine. We were close, but no cigar. We said Brentford v Brighton on the final day. It is what it is. We didn't do too well, but it wasn't about that, really. It was about getting the results of the fixtures and seeing what would happen. So if you have enjoyed this video, make sure you smash a like on it. As a neutral, fan, just watching the games will be interesting. But obviously I'm a Watford fan, so it won't be neutral. But you get what I mean. It was a neutral reaction where I could. If it wasn't for Watford, then for all the Premier League games in the key dates. But thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I've been Roberto the Hornet. Thank you. Bye-bye.